Your landlord knocks on your door. Big smile, he's got news. He's gutting the building down to the studs. New plumbing, new wiring, new walls, the works. It's going to be incredible, he says. He's very excited. He shows you one photo of one corner of one room with slightly nicer lighting. You ask when. He doesn't know. You ask what's actually changing. He doesn't know that either. And on his way out, he mentions the last building he renovated like this, the one all your friends live in, still doesn't have working heat. 3 years later, and that one, he says, is the tenant's fault. That's Epic Games. They announced a brand new game engine, the thing that's going to run basically every big game for the next decade, by bolting it onto a 10-year-old card game and then telling you almost nothing about it. So let's talk about it. Setup, May 24th, the Rocket League Championship Series, the Paris Major, big esports tournament, crowd, casters screaming about a ball going into a net, and somewhere in the intermission, the halftime basically, Epic drops a teaser, 1 minute long, the next era of Rocket League. Some cars, but shinier, better light on the paint. The grass on the field actually bends when the cars roll through it. Riveting. And at the end, a logo, new purple, Unreal Engine 6. That's the announcement. That's the next generation of the most important piece of software in gaming revealed at the halftime of a car soccer match. And to be clear, I'm not dunking on car soccer. Rocket League rules. We'll get there, but here's the situation. Rocket League came out in July 2015. It runs on Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 3 came out in 2006, so this game has been running on 20-year-old tech for its entire life, and it's been completely fine because it is a game about hitting a ball with a car. It does not need ray tracing. It needs to not crash. So now it's moving to Unreal Engine 6, which means it's skipping Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5 entirely. 3 straight to 6. They looked at 2 perfectly functional engines, said, no thank you, and jumped to the one that doesn't exist yet. Because, and sit with this, Unreal Engine 6 is not out. There's no release date, there's no gameplay, there's barely a logo. The most credible reads put a real shipping version of this thing somewhere around 2028 or 2029. The next time we even hear more is a developer conference in Chicago in a few weeks, where they will presumably show us a slightly longer version of Trust Us. So to recap, a remaster of a 10-year-old game on an engine that won't ship for years, announced with a 1-minute clip of a car driving through grass. This is a concept car. You know how at every auto show there's a gorgeous thing on a turntable with butterfly doors and a touchscreen where the dashboard should be, and the company goes, behold the future. And then it never ships, and the actual car you can buy is last year's car with a new cup holder. That. Epic put a concept car on a turntable. The turntable was an esports halftime show. So remember the landlord, the part where the building with no heat was somehow the tenant's fault? Here's that part. Unreal Engine 6's entire reason for existing is to fix Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal Engine 5 has a reputation. If you've played a big budget game in the last 3 years and it felt like it had the hiccups, that little stutter every time you round a corner or walk into a new area, or an enemy does a move it hasn't done before, that's Unreal Engine 5. There are names for it. Shader compilation stutter, traversal stutter, and it is everywhere. Silent Hill 2 remake, Borderlands 4, which Digital Foundry said ran worse than usual for an Unreal game, a sentence that should genuinely end a career. Metal Gear Solid Delta, Hellblade 2, the Star Wars Jedi games have been stuttering since 2019 and just kept right on doing it. So the engine that runs almost everything runs rough on a lot of machines, and Epic's fix is a newer engine, fine. Companies fix their stuff, but here's the structural thing, the part that actually matters. Last August at a conference in Seoul, somebody asked Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic, about all the stuttering, and his answer, paraphrasing, was, that's the developer's fault. They build their games for expensive hardware first and only get around to optimizing for normal people at the very end. So really, it's a workflow problem on their end. Pardon? And here's why he can say that and walk away clean. Unreal isn't an engine anymore. It's the engine, the default. It's what publishers tell studios to use, partly because it means they can hire fewer of those expensive engineers who actually know how to make a game run, since the engine handles it. Almost nobody walks away. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 used CryEngine instead, and people treated it like watching a magician saw a lady in half. So when everything runs on your engine and a lot of it stutters, you never have to be the problem. There are 1,000 developers to point at and nowhere for any of them to go. Each one of these on its own is a fender bender. Stack them up, and it's a 40-car pileup with one company standing in the middle going, wow, weird how this keeps happening. So I don't actually think a new engine for Rocket League is bad. Better is fine, prettier is fine. I want to be honest about that. But here's what Rocket League actually is to a lot of people. It's the game you've had installed for years and never deleted. It's free, it loads in seconds, It runs at a smooth 60 on a laptop your cousin gave you on a handheld, on a train, on whatever you got lying around. You get home, you're fried, you do not have the energy for some 90-hour open world that wants a relationship. So you queue 2 games of twos with a friend who lives 3 time zones away. You yell at each other for 15 minutes and you feel like a person again. That's the whole thing. It just works. It works for everyone and it asks nothing of you. When this game came out in 2015, it came out of nowhere. A free download on PlayStation Plus that nobody requested, a weird little physics toy, and it became one of the biggest games on the planet on pure word of mouth because anybody could run it, anybody could play it, and the skill ceiling went straight through the roof. So when Epic says the next era, the quiet thing I'm scared of isn't that it's going to look bad. It's that the friend 3 time zones away opens it one day and his old laptop chugs, that the load times creep up. The one game that never once made you think about your hardware suddenly makes you think about your hardware. The magic was never the lighting. The magic was that it ran on a toaster and put your friends in the room. So don't lose that for some grass that bends. Okay, couple of leftover things because they're stupid in a fun way. The actual change you're getting for now is lighting and reflections. The developers have basically promised the physics won't change because the competitive scene would burn the building down, and they're right to. So the entire next era is functionality, nicer shadows on a game about a ball, a brand new engine 3 years out, so the car can have better paint. Nintendo reposted the announcement too, which is the most Nintendo thing imaginable. That's how they confirm a Switch 2 version is coming and absolutely nothing else. Repost the thing, then walk silently back into the woods. But the one that actually gets me is they put captured real-time in-game on the trailer on purpose as a selling point because we have all been lied to by so many fake in-engine trailers that a company telling you, no, really, this is the actual game now counts as a feature. We got beaten so badly that honesty is a marketing angle. So here's where I land. I'm not mad about this. I'm tired about this. I would love to be wrong. I would love for Unreal Engine 6 to ship in 2028 and run like glass and make every game smooth and prove me a complete cynic. I just remember being promised exactly that about the last one. If this video pulled you out of a match queue or out of waiting for some other game to finish compiling its shaders, leave a like. It actually helps the channel get shown to people, real people, hopefully. Subscribe if you want more of this, and tell me in the comments what's a game you love specifically because nobody's modernized it yet. The one that still just works. I want the list. I want to know what we're protecting. Take care of yourselves, watch your posture, and don't let the grind break you. Peace. Cyler out.